In our last session, Lunaria was tested through the mirrors of time. As Emperor Valerius, she stood defiant against Arcantera's threats, refusing to yield to their demands for Lord Tanavir's life. Her decision was one of strength, a refusal to bow to the whims of another power. Then, the scene shifted to one of grim reality. She embodied the assassin responsible for a deed most foul, the slaying of Lord Tanavir alongside one of his children. The blade she wielded was cursed, ensuring their souls could find no peace or return. Lastly, she faced her past in the Fey realm, at the cusp of being torn from her family. Faced with the choice to alter her fate, she chose to walk the path destiny had carved for her, leaving behind a chance to see her mother once more. With the crystal of clarity in hand, she emerged, prepared for what lies ahead.
All right then, so it's finally your turn, Raarh. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, it's been fun and all watching these guys play for the last 4 sessions, but it'll be nice to actually, do something.
Just take it slow and steady, buddy. You can't afford any mistakes.
Yeah, and we will be here, watching, providing a constant mind commentary on everything you are doing.
Well, let's get to it then, Joe. What do I see when I look around?
Raarh, as you survey your surroundings, you're standing on a vast hill that stretches out under an expansive sky. The atmosphere around you buzzes tension. Dominating the scene is the eternal flame, a beautiful, magical fire that burns without consuming, its flames dancing with a kaleidoscope of captivating colors. Beside this entrancing flame, 2 figures are engaged in a fervent argument. You can't catch their words from where you stand, but their postures and tones speak volumes. The first figure is garbed in regal and spiritual attire, rich fabrics flowing elegantly and covered with symbols that speak of deep cultural and religious significance. In stark contrast, the second figure is dressed in attire that is practical and militaristic, suggesting a focus on utility and strength. Their clothing is streamlined and robust, with less adornment but an air of authority and purpose.
All right, Joe, I'm gonna make my way up to them too. Oi!
Oh my God.
Why are you two just arguing around this fucking flame?
The individual dressed in regal attire turns to face you, his expression shifting to one of deep offense. This fucking flame, as you so crudely put it, is a sacred symbol of our people's enduring spirit and resilience, and I'm trying to convey to this Neanderthal that any attempt on removing it from this hill will be a declaration of war between our 2 nations.
Huh, how about that?
The other individual chuckles at your approach, finding humor in your straightforwardness. He's got a point, it's just a flame, a pretty one, sure, but hardly worth all this fuss. You treat it like some divine gift, but to us it's a joke. A pretty light that's sitting on top of the real prize.
Can we slow down a second, because you're both confusing the hell out of me. Who are you and what's the issue with this flame?
The man who chuckled at your approach speaks first. I'm General Tarkus of Valdor. The issue here is straightforward. Underneath this flame, there's a rich deposit of precious metals, resources that are crucial for Valdor's development and security. We've proposed mining it, but Eldoria, he nods toward the other representative, is stubbornly refusing, all because of some mystical fire. The man, dressed in ornate robes adorned with spiritual motifs, steps forward with a dignified air. I am High Priest Lorien of Eldoria. This mystical fire, as General Tarkus dismissively calls it, is our eternal flame, a sacred beacon that has burned for generations. It represents a link to our past and a guide for our future. We demand Valdor to respect its sanctity and cease their attempts to desecrate it for mere metal.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Pompous Pants doesn't want Mineral Man digging around this flame. But who owns this land anyway? Isn't that how it works? Whoever owns it calls the shots, right? So who's the owner here?
Lorien responds, unfortunately, the eternal flame sits precisely on the border, split directly between our lands. It belongs to both Eldoria and Valdor.
Then just let him dig on his side and all's good.
No, it's not that simple. Any disruption to the eternal flame, even on one side, would be a severe insult to our people. It would desecrate a sacred symbol that has united generations of Eldorians. The spiritual damage would be immeasurable. It's at this point General Tarkus cuts in. Who cares about an insult? Our people need these resources to thrive. For us, it's not about emotions, it's about survival. If you won't grant us permission to mine, we will proceed without it. And if that means war, a war you'll undoubtedly lose, then so be it. There are neighboring powers eyeing up this mineral deposit. Do you think they'd be negotiating with you now? Or would they simply use force, destroying your precious flame and taking what they want? You're not powerful enough to defend the flame. Why risk your people's lives for it? Lorien responds, then we fight, and if we die, then so be it. Tarkus shakes his head, tutting under his breath. You're a fool. Responding quickly, Lorien snaps, and you're a heathen.
Right, okay, well let's try figure something out that works for both of you.
Unfortunately, Raarh, they are both engulfed in a storm of anger, utterly oblivious to your presence. In a heated fury, they exchange a barrage of insults, fiercely hurling cutting words at each other without restraint.
Well, this isn't going too great.
Will you both just shut the fuck up?
Raarh, as your voice thunders across the room, commanding and fierce, both parties abruptly fall into a stunned silence. After a few moments, Lorien, with a mix of confusion and curiosity, finally breaks it. Who even are you? And why are you getting involved in this?
I am Raarh. You may also call me the Green One, the endless hunger, the unbridled rage, or the unholy pain in the arse. I have been sent to you by a higher power to help you figure this shit out. So by the gods, you're going to figure it out. Because if you don't, you're going to piss that higher power off, which will piss me off. And you really don't want to piss me off.
Why is he giving himself so many titles?
He has earned those titles, Saxy. Each one is a mark of his trials and triumphs. Tell me, don't you have titles for yourself?
No, I really don't.
Well, you should. It's a great way to inspire fear into the hearts of your enemies.
Well, I'm not sure that's entirely the case. Titles can be impressive, but they don't always strike fear into the hearts of enemies. True intimidation comes from one's actions and presence, not just from a string of grandiose names.
You don't know the first thing about intimidation, Alexandrew. Imagine your enemy shouting, "Oh no, here comes Alexandrew." It doesn't exactly send shivers down the spine. More like, "Yay, Alexandrew is coming to play." It would probably make them happy. They would be overjoyed with the news. But imagine if it was, "Oh no, here comes Alexandrew, the thrower of fists, the hairless head, stealer of skill sets, and the right hand of the turtle man." Now that would inspire real fear.
Yeah, that does sound pretty terrifying.
Am I a joke to you, Tronald?
Don't beat yourself up. It's not just me that you're a joke to.
Anyway, I'm going to need an intimidation check from you, Raarh.
Oh, I rolled a 5.
Wait, shouldn't you be using your strength modifier instead of your charisma modifier for this, though?
Yeah, we did set that homebrew rule in place. So you can add your strength for intimidation.
Brill. Well, in that case, that's an 11 then, Joe.
Okay, Raarh. Tarkus eyes you up and down, folding his arms before responding. Then what would you suggest, Green One? If you've been sent here to sort this out without bloodshed, you must have some ideas up your sleeve. How do you propose we untangle this knot without resorting to violence?
Well, you're going to need something in place that would benefit both of you, right? So, Mineral Man, you mentioned that there are other forces that have their eye on this land, and that Pompous Pants' army wouldn't be equipped to defend it, right?
Yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Okay, so Pompous Pants, how much is this flame worth to you?
Lorien responds with a hint of impatience. Please, call me Lorien. And as for the flame, it is of immeasurable value to us. As I've said before, we are prepared to protect it with our lives. It's everything.
Right. Just let me make a note of that.
How are you making a note of it? When I asked Joe if I got a quill and a notepad, he said I didn't.
I don't know. Maybe he just prefers me to you.
Stop whinging, Alexandrew. If you want a notepad so badly, we will get you one when we leave this place.
I'm not whinging. I was just asking how he was writing it down.
Oh my God, who cares? If you must know, I had it in my pack already, so don't worry. Joe didn't just give me one because he prefers me.
You're making a big assumption.
Let's just let Raarh focus on his task.
Don't cut me off.
Was that your first time doing it, Saxy? It's fun, right?
Nah, I don't know about fun. It felt a little bit rude if I'm being...
Well, back to you anyway, Raarh. Just ignore us.
You set me up.
How about this for an idea then? Mineral Man, you can commit troops to defend the flame, ensuring its safety. In exchange, Pompous will compensate you with both valuable resources and coin. This way, you both gain something without losing what's most important to you. It's a fair trade, ensuring mutual benefit and peace. And not just that, but think of the potential growth for both your nations. With this deal, you can capitalize on each other's strengths. You'll have the opportunity to trade and collaborate, enhancing both your economies. And when it comes to defending against external threats, the combined might of your two nations will be far more formidable. It's a mutually beneficial alliance, one where both sides stand to gain and prosper together.
Damn, that's an interesting proposition, Raarh. I'm going to need a persuasion check from you. This check will be incredibly difficult for someone with a -2 in charisma.
Can't I just intimidate them again using my strength?
Unfortunately not, buddy. The whole point of this challenge is that you are thrown into situations that you're uncomfortable with. That's what makes it so difficult. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
And if he fails, how many more chances will he have?
That all depends on the magnitude on which he fails.
Can I make some kind of check to see if I can think of anything at all that could help Raarh escape from this place if he can't complete the challenge?
Yeah, is there, anything we can do to assist him?
Come on, guys! Have a little faith in the Green One. I'm not about to let some silly old labyrinth beat me.
Yeah, let's just deal with that when and if it comes to it. Like I said, it's tough, but not impossible, so we will just have to see how he does.
Oh my. Well, That's a natural 1.
For fuck's sake.
Screw you, Alexandrew.
Why screw me?
Because you used my goddamn skill set when I told you not to.
Dude, will you shut up with your main character syndrome? You don't get to tell me to do anything. I did what was best for me in my situation.
Yeah, well, your best is going to make us lose Raarh, so I hope you're happy with yourself.
Will you two give it a rest? Bickering amongst yourselves isn't going to do anything to help Raarh.
Yeah, I think you guys might have misplaced your faith. I can already feel myself becoming one with the labyrinth.
Well, if you've got any tricks up your sleeve, buddy, trust me when I say, now's the time.
Come on, Raarh, use that big green brain of yours.
I'd be slightly concerned if his brain was green.
Oh my God, I wasn't being literal, Saxy.
What the fuck's he doing?
Isn't it obvious? He's meditating. He's channeling the entire power of all his brain cells to come up with a plan.
Well, it sounds to me like he's speaking Mandalorian.
You mean Mandarin?
No, I mean Mandalorian.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey,
Tronald. How long is he going to be doing this for?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine, but do not question his ways.
现在我有病 chilling， 我很喜欢病 chilling， 但是速度有几king ju 比病 chilling。
Yeah, as I thought. Mandarin.
I've got it!
Jesus Christ, you scared the shit out of me.
Yes, nice work, buddy. What's your plan then, Raarh?
I've decided I'm going to go and live with Mineral Man. I mean, out of the two, he's definitely more my vibe, so I think I'll do quite well down here.
What the hell, man? That's not a plan. Hell, that's not even an option. You're telling me that's the best you could come up with after your powerful meditation?
Well, my only other idea was to re-roll the natural 1, but it's probably going to be just as shit as the last one. So I thought this new plan was better.
What do you mean, re-roll the natural one?
Stop playing dumb. You know what I mean. When you roll again, if you don't like the one you've already rolled...
Funny joke, buddy. But you've been playing this game long enough to know that you can't just re-roll a dice if you don't like the result.
Actually, that's exactly what I can do. You see, back when we were in Rick's Manor, when we just reached level 3, I chose the path of the totem warrior. Then I chose the bear as my spirit animal.
Huh? The totem path of the bear doesn't grant anything like that, though, dude. You've lost me.
Ah, silly forgetful Joe. Don't you remember? You gave me an inspiration die because you like bears.
Well, that doesn't exactly sound like something I wouldn't do. But I'm just going to double-check this real quick. Jamie, pull that up for us, will you?
For my primal path, I've decided to go with Path of the Totem Warrior.
Ooh, that's interesting. And which totem will you be taking at level 3?
That's a silly question, Joe. I'll be going with the fucking bear.
Fucking excellent, dude. You know what? Just for that here, have an inspiration die.
What the fuck, Joe?
What's the problem?
Why are you handing out inspiration dice just from him choosing the bear totem?
Hey, what can I say, dude? I fucking love bears, and clearly he's done his research on that, so of course I'm going to give credit where credit's due.
There you go again, just like Tronald said, wanting to see me fail.
You really need to become more of a team player, buddy.
Whatever. Carry on.
Wow, Saxy really was such a little bitch back then.
Wow, good memory, man.
I mean, it's not that much of a good memory to remember it. I'm glad he stopped whining as much these days, though.
I was talking about the inspiration, not Saxy's bitchiness.
Excuse me?
Come on then, Raarh. Roll that dice. I'm sick of this place. Roll something beautiful like a natural 19 or 20. Then we can finish this up and go overthrow a Gobbo empire.
All right, then, go ahead and re-roll your persuasion check.
Damn it. Sorry, Tronald. I know you wanted a natural 19 or 20, but I only rolled a natural 18 for a 17 total.
What are you talking about? That's awesome, buddy.
Awesome work, Raarh. All right. After a moment of contemplation, Lorien nods slowly. While the proposal is unconventional, it does present a path to peace. Eldoria must consider the greater good. If Valdor's military support can protect the eternal flame and keep peace, we can justify the resource and coin exchange. It's a compromise, but one that could save many lives.
And what about you, big boy? What do you think of the pro-petition?
Tarkus raises an eyebrow. Don't call me big boy.
Sorry about that, Mineral Man.
And as for your proposition, he lifts his hand and begins rubbing his chin thoughtfully. Yeah, all right, it's a deal, but on our terms. We'll provide the military support needed to secure the eternal flame. In return, Eldoria's payment must be substantial and consistent. This isn't charity, it's a strategic alliance. We'll need to draft clear terms to ensure both our nations benefit equally.
Right, sweet, awesome, cool. You're both happy? Excellent. Now can you get me the hell out of here?
Raarh, your exasperation is clear as you address the two leaders with a blunt request to leave. They both turn to you, their expression one of confusion. It's evident they don't quite grasp what you're getting at. Before you can clarify, General Tarkus responds, a hint of perplexity in his voice. We appreciate your idea and the help you've provided, but you're free to go whenever you please. We're not stopping you. His response, well-intentioned but missing the point, makes it clear that they don't understand the true nature of your presence here.
Don't be a smart-ass. I know I'm free to leave whenever I want. Sure, I can walk around this bloody land for eternity, But what I meant by that was that I want you to open the doorway so I can get back to my friends. So it would be ever so kind if you do that for me. Thanks.
Both leaders still look utterly confused. High Priest Lorien speaks up, his tone laced with concern. You're acting really strange. Like General Tarkus said, we appreciate your help, but maybe it's time for you to leave now. You're acting crazy. As they speak, you notice the eternal flame behind them begins to shimmer slightly, its colors dancing in an unusual pattern. It seems like it's responding to your presence, or perhaps to the resolution of the conflict. It's almost as if the flame is—
Oh, what a fucking scam this is! I help you resolve your shitty little conflict, and how do you thank me? You thank me by calling me crazy. Well, if you want to see crazy, I'll fucking show you crazy. Joe, I charged towards the flame, diving on it in an attempt to attack it.
Damn, and it was all going so well.
What the actual fuck, man?
Right, okay, Raarh, as you leap onto the flame, arms wide open, your body launches into a bestial pounce like a predator lunging at its prey. The moment your skin makes contact with the flickering fire, a whirlwind of energy engulfs you. You're suddenly caught in a maelstrom of light and color, twisted and warped through time and space in an exhilarating yet disorienting dance of the cosmos. It's a wild, chaotic journey, the world around you bending and blurring in a kaleidoscope of reality and impossibility. Then it stops, and you find yourself colliding with something solid. As you open your eyes, the world comes back into focus, and you realize you're on top of Saxi, pinning him to the ground. Clutched tightly in your right hand is the reward from your challenge, the Amulet of Understanding. This amulet allows the wearer to understand and speak any language.
Yay! I did it! We did it!
Well done. Now can you get the hell off me?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry about that. Joe, I climb off a Saxi.
Nice work, Raarh. Did you know that the flame became the portal and jumping through it would teleport you to us?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I had an idea and did it for emotional flair, or maybe I was feeling slightly enraged and lashed out. Who knows?
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Hell, I couldn't care less how you made it back to us. I'm just glad you did. Joe, I walk over to Raarh, embracing him and giving him a hug. You had me really worried there, buddy. Hey, Alexandrew, I'm sorry for being a bit of a dick.
A bit of a dick is a bit of an understatement, but no worries, all is forgiven. You were worried about your friend. It's cool.
All right, so now that we're all together, what can we see, Joe?
Okay, now that you're all gathered together, you look out into the distance. Before you sprawls the vast, intricate maze that Tronald first glimpsed. Its network of corridors and shifting walls pulsate with a life of their own, a complex and ever-changing puzzle. In the distance, the labyrinth's heart flickers with magical sparks like distant stars beckoning you deeper into its depths. Above you, the swirling mass of souls, first seen by Tronald, pulses with even more intensity than before. This haunting spectacle of thousands of lost travelers, each a victim to the labyrinth's merciless trials, seems to be reacting to your presence. Their ethereal dance in the air, faces twisted in agony, is more than a grim reminder of the labyrinth's dangers. It's as if these souls are part of its very essence, awakened by each challenge you've faced and overcome. The energy of the mass of souls ebbs and flows in response to your movements. As you stand ready to navigate through the maze, the labyrinth seems to anticipate your every move, its walls shifting and pathways reconfiguring. It is the consummation of this living challenge that tests not only your physical prowess, but also your mental acuity and unity as a team.
Are you ready for this then, guys?
Well, we bloody better be, because there's no going backwards.
Raarh is always ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to get this over with. God knows how long we've actually been inside of here.
Yeah, it's been a fun challenge, don't get me wrong. But maybe we should avoid things like this in the future where we're all split up for so long. I'm ready to see the light of day again.
For sure. But it's not like we knew that we would be split up for so long when we entered. Anyway, let's conquer this final stage, and hopefully there's an interesting reward at the end.
That's assuming we don't all die.
Right, I think that's where we will wrap up this session. See you next week, guys.